I was sitting in my home today enjoying being brainwashed by some shitcom show when a commercial on the horrors of heroin came on. I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, here I was sitting being told do not use, but I didn't even think about using it again until I seen the commercial in the first place. I can think of about a million stereotypes of drug addicts just off the top of my head. Growing up, I can recall hearing the horrors of drug use in school, like the story of the acid free. They jumped out the window thinking they could fly. It seems like still today everywhere I go, stereotypes like these still grab at my attention. From movies to music, all around me every day, the war on drugs tries to influence me. Being a paranoid conspiracy theorist all ex-inmates become, I had to take a step back and look at all the constantly repeated ads, and I'm asking myself, why so much time is wasted on making the general public aware of things they normally might never even encounter? I mean, before I seen the commercial, I wasn't even thinking about using. Upon seeing the commercial, I thought back to something I read a while back in this college course book on the effectiveness of ad bombardment as a weapon to promote a product. I remember it goes something like this. Through the bombardment of ads repeated daily, we become familiar with the product. In this case, the product being promoted was one of drugs, the norm, being a negative norm, yet still a norm nonetheless. After repeated long-term exposure, drugs become embedded in our minds as familiar. Then positive time goes on, even when the initial exposure to the ad was negative. I thought about it for a moment and thought that outside of the propaganda of the war on drugs, drug use is surrounded by a culture of mystery and easy come, easy go euphoria. A drug lifestyle is enveloped in beliefs that a release from the confines of ordinary consciousness brings about the euphoria and mental freedom that the straight-edge world of working the 9-to-5 grind just cannot offer. I'll be the first to admit that being sober at times really sucks. Day in, day out, same face, the same job, the seemingly same choices, it easily seems to feel like I'm going through the motions and have no control over life. Here it landed, for me at least, the use of illicit drugs as a form of dulling my inner pain and helping me capture those lost feelings of control. Dope offered me not just the euphoria and control, but also gave me identity in an otherwise alienating world of conformity. Identity is a subculture that offered acceptance of who I was, or at least who I thought I was. These feelings of acceptance and control never lasted long, which pushed me deeper and deeper into addiction. I thought of myself as a social activist, yet in hindsight, I see now that the more time and energy I devoted to my addiction, the less time I devoted to any consistent interest in any actual public or political views of any kind. Drugs didn't so much change my consciousness as colonize it, and channeled all my political and social contemplations away from major issues and into a subculture that promotes mental sedation and self-destruction. As I see from the beginning of hierarchies, the problem has not been gaining control, but in keeping it. Through a conscious strategy of creating stereotypes in a subculture of drug use, it seems that those in power use us against ourselves by pushing our revolutionary aspirations into a self-destructive subculture such as illegal drugs and then maintaining their power at the top of the ladder.